Really a beautiful, once sunny and now a really rainy cut. Welcome to Talking Figures. You got it right. On Talking Figures, we untangle the complexities in the business world. We try to make sense of it, bring you insights and all of the information that you need, that you've been hearing. Make sense of it and really understand what it is and how it affects your business. My name is Chioma Ezeadilieje, and of course, I'm your host. And today, we're talking about something that we really should have talked about a long time ago. But well, today is public holiday. And it's really a good time to let our hair down and have this conversation, especially because some people are not doing the holiday. They are still working. It's a holiday. You're supposed to wake up and just press phone till evening or something. Just rest. Are you? Or you're working? I know you're working. Yes, let's have the conversation now. Talking about balancing business and life. It's I don't know, we kind of want to brag with it when we say I wake up 2 a.m. and I don't sleep until wherever. You know, we kind of want to brag with this thing, but is it really something to brag about? I think the true bragging is your ability to be able to balance your business life and your family life or your life. And just have that balance and not working all the time. That should be the true bragging. But then, is it really possible to run a business? It's different if you are working for someone. So maybe you have a time that you actually, do your close of work and then you go home. But when it's your business, you're running your own business. Is it really possible to run that business and then actually have a life? That's a conversation today. What's the possibility of running a business and having a life? Let me just put it that. Or does that become your life? Is it even okay for you to become your life? I mean, when I went through, some of the billionaires, we've had these conversations of how many times that they, how much sleep they get. People like Elon Musk, that's the owner of X, that's the former Twitter, the billionaire. They said he usually goes to sleep around 3 a.m. and typically gets 6 hours of shut eye before waking and immediately checking his phone for any new emergencies. But these days, Mr. Musk will sleep at his office headquarters in San Francisco. He doesn't go home anymore. He now sleeps in the office. And so he has even provided beds for employees. I'm asking again, is there a possibility of a business and life balance? Is that even possible? That's our conversation today. And yes, you get to join me. And at some point, I'm going to open the phone line. So first, let's hear your thoughts. We're live on Facebook. We are also on YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. Yes, you can drop your comments there. When I open the phone lines, I will read them. And of course on X, we are also you're also able to drop your thoughts there as well, and at Nigeria Info PH. And on WhatsApp, of course, 0809 030 6416, 0809 030 6416. That's the WhatsApp number. Shoot me that text. Let's hear you. When last did you get that 8 hours sleep that doctors talk about as a business owner? Say the truth though. Okay, I have my guest with me here, and she's the convener of Business Balance and Beyond Summit. Of course, if you're in River State or if you're online, you probably must have seen, heard, tasted or wondered of this event. Yes, it's an event coming up. She's the convener of that event, and if you know her as a brand influencer, you are not wrong. If you know her as a storyteller, you are not also wrong. If you know her as a social media queen generally, or just Veronica's daughter, you are also not wrong. Yes, Dr. Ezeadilieje is here with me, and so get ready for insights. Thank you so much, Doc. Can I call you that today?
You always like calling me Doc. Well,
thank you for being here.
Much. Thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon, Port Harcourt, and I'm so happy to be here.
Okay, so she's going to wear a business cap today, just like she's expected to wear on Saturday as the convener of Business Balance and Beyond. A very lovely name. She calls it B Cube, right?
Yes.
B raised to power 3.
B Cube, yes.
People that don't know maths.
BBB, the Business Balance and Beyond.
Beyond.
So that's B Cube.
So we'll get to what all of that is about. But first, let's look at this issue of balancing business and life. Is that even possible? I mean, we brag about this thing when we say, me, I wake up 3:30 every day.
That's not healthy.
It's not. But that's the, if for you to be able to put in all of that, we practically brag about these things. But is that, just like you said, is it really possible if you want to pull out from that life and just balance it? How can that work? In your experience, why is achieving work-life balance such a challenge for many business owners and professionals today?
You say why?
Yes. Why is it a challenge?
That's the million-naira question.
Yes.
It's difficult. It's not impossible. Neither is it so difficult. But the thing is, most people do not even know that there should be a balance. They believe, when it's time to make money, you make money to the exclusion of every other thing. So they throw themselves into the world of business, and their excuse is the cost of living has risen so high. So we need to work extraordinarily hard just to make ends meet. So in the process of making ends meet, you keep raising the bar higher and higher. When is it really enough? It's never enough. So it's intrinsic in human beings to always want more. If you think I'm lying, think of yourself, Choma. Let's say 5 years ago, you would probably have thought that if you start earning the salary you're earning now, all of your life's problems will be over. As in, you will be so satisfied and contented. Dear Lord, help me. I won't want anything else. How far?
You're so shocked. I am shocked myself.
We've forgotten that what we have now, there were times they used to be just mere dreams and imaginations. So the higher you go,
the more you want,
the harder it becomes. The more you want. Okay, you bought a new car. Other new cars will come out. New houses will pop up. Your friends will get more.
You want to renovate.
Some of you don't even rest on your laurels. You don't even rest and say, okay,
and clap for yourself.
Even enjoy what I've just gotten. No, you're looking for the next big thing. And while you're doing that, the other sides of your life keep suffering. Because money is not everything. Money is just one part of life. An important part, no doubt, but it is not the most important thing. It's not. You can ask your father, you can ask your bosses, your older bosses who are retired. Interview any of them and you will be shocked at what their regrets are. I have not seen, maybe there are, but I'm not sure I've seen anyone who says, I wish I worked harder. Mostly it's, I wish I paid more attention to family. I wish I had more time to enjoy my life. Because we struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle into the grave. But would you say you have lived? So if I were to ask you, what's the most important thing in your life? What's that thing you're most proud of? What's that achievement that, you are so... A lot of times it's, I bought a new car. I bought the latest phone. I got promoted at my job. But when you need these other parts of your life, when your life is winding down at the twilight of your life, when you're retiring, that's when you realize, all I have is just money. Where's your family? Where's your wife? Where's your husband? Where are your kids? Where are your friends? Look around you. The people around you are mostly around you because of what they can get. They are waiting for you to drop dead so that the next of kin can ball. So you are very, very important to your next of kin simply because of what he or she is going to inherit when you die. But as a human being, would you say you enjoyed your life? Would you say you truly lived? And by live, I mean, yes, you do well in business. You also do well in your personal life. You also do well in your social life. You also do well in your health. So you work yourself so hard and almost into the grave.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what do you have to show for it? If money were the important thing, go to the hospital. Some people have monies in their accounts.
True.
But they have illnesses that money cannot cure. Money cannot take care of. The money can just give them comfort. And that's just it. You've chased everybody in your life. You focused on money. Now, that money you dedicated your life to chasing cannot seem to help you. So at the end of the day, who lost? You did. Big time.
Let's look at this balance. The concept of balance can sometimes be subjective. How would you define it? What can you share, your own definition of work-life balance in the context of running a business? And I know you own lots of, let's talk about businesses you own.
Lots of business.
Yes,
That's
now.
sort of mogul.
Now.
I'm a regular Nigerian. A lot of we delved into businesses and work simply because, the economy was not really economy.
Wait first. Okay.
Right? First business open shop. Okay. Because I know no matter the economy of the jungle, Nigerians will always give birth. We go born. There's no need. We go born.
Comfort is the only
yeah, of course. That's the only comfort you have. So children are the fruits of comfort. I have that early born. I own that baby. I have my Ankara business. I sell. Then I have my online business where I do.
You're quite of them all.
Okay, as a social media influencer, I try to give visibility to businesses. So if you have a business you're running, whether online or offline, when you come to my page, I can create content for you. I can make videos. I can write captions or copies for you. I do that on Instagram at Veronica's daughter. I do that on Facebook.
And you built the page through stories?
Yes. I built my audience through, telling them of my everyday life. I first started with my childhood. I started talking about, when I was younger, this was what my mother did. That's why I'm called Veronica's daughter. Veronica is my mother. So I started telling stories of how we were raised. And, when I started telling those stories, before
people could relate.
I thought I was the only person that went through that shege as a child. But the moment I started writing those stories, I was shocked how people were taken back to memory lane. They were like, Veronica and my mother were twins. My mother did this, my mother did that. So that's how I built my audience. Then I started telling stories about my children, as a young mother, as a single girl, and the thing about my stories is I don't lie. I have my village people following me. So if you lie, they know. These people, they've known you from birth. So I have my primary school friends, my secondary school friends, my village people, my in-laws, everybody, they're following me, so they know. So I started telling stories of, when I was single, my escapades. And when I say escapades, I don't mean the other side, just the way life was generally as a single girl.
Navigating life.
Yes, how I got married, and now as a mother. I try to talk about things that are happening in my house. Things that other people will not talk about because either they feel embarrassed or they feel it makes them a failure. So I spoke about my failures. My sister, failure is part of life. If you don't fail, you won't appreciate a win. I have failed in so many things. So I always I'm upfront about my failures. And people began to gravitate towards me and my stories because it was relatable. Most people will say, Ella, are you sure you're not in my house? Are you sure this happened to me exactly? Oh, thank God. I thought I was abnormal. Oh, you mean this is regular? I spoke about childbirth. By the way, I have 4 children. Caesarean mom of 4. So I started talking about all those stories that people don't talk about. How I chose to do the cesarean part, how I did this and did that. That's how I built my audience. So on Instagram, I have an audience of almost 130,000 people who follow me, and they are glued to my stories because I'm talking about what's happening in your house. So it's like you're giving them permission to talk about their failures. Social media, it could be therapeutic if you want it to be. So when something is bothering you and you're feeling alone, you come online and someone is talking about this same thing exactly, and she's not killing herself. You're like, thank God. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was a bad mom because my baby fell down the stairs. Your baby will fall down from more things, you get? So it's a part of growing up. It's a part of life. So that's how I built my audience.
So with all of this, how would you define this, balance? What's balance to you? For businesses, can you share your own definition of work-life balance in the context of running a business?
Okay. Now, in all honesty, we never totally achieve balance. It's a myth. It's impossible to achieve true balance. It's not possible. It's not possible. You say all things. What? There's something we always say.
All things being equal.
All things being equal. Are they really ever equal? Never. Never. It's a balancing act. Now, It's about prioritizing
Per time.
between your career and the other life activities. That's basically why, I like simplifying things. No need of speaking big grammar. There are other aspects of your life. As a human now, as a woman, you're somebody's that's another aspect. You're somebody's mom. That's one aspect. You're at work right now. At this time, guess what? Business has taken over priority over family. You are at work now because this is the time to be at work. And for you to do well at work here, it means you had settled the other aspects of your life. Maybe as a mom, you've already arranged food for the kids. You've arranged like a babysitter. You've arranged the home front before you get to work. So it's about managing your time and energy, right? To fulfill
Up national progress national. Please listen to this important announcement. The National Union of Road
On 92.3 Nigeria Info FM. Before the break, we had our guest, Dr. Ezeadilieje, the convener of Business Balance and Beyond, talking about work-life balance, business and life, the possibility of balancing it all. She's defined her own, she's given us her own definition of it. And the reality of it all is what she was really unfolding before we had to go on that break. And she's still here in the studio, by the way.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, so you were saying?
Okay, I was just saying that work-life balance simply means effectively managing your time and energy to achieve that lifestyle, that fulfillment that comes from professional and personal success. Having a healthy marriage if you want to marry, having a healthy social life, living a healthy life, and also doing well at work, all at the same time. So you know that for you to be able to do this, you would have to really set structures in place that ensures that no aspect of your life is lagging behind, no aspect is suffering. And that means that there are times, like I told you before, we don't achieve true balance. It's not possible because life is static. Life is not static, rather. Life is dynamic. There are things that happens in life you don't foresee. If someone were to call you right now and say, "Oh, Choma, your daughter or your son is ill," you didn't really plan for that. You didn't foresee that, did you? So you would have to go out of character. At that point, your job will take second fiddle, will play second fiddle. You have to attend to your child. But right now, as we're seated here in the studio, your job is playing top. Your job is top right now. When you get home, you leave the professional life and you focus on
The mom life.
Yes. So the problem is that some people overdo one part of their lives. It's either you're too much of a workaholic. You don't bother with your personal life. You don't bother with the relationships that matter. You don't bother with maybe your parents. You don't do socials. When we say social does not always mean going to clubs or going to parties. No, it could mean just hanging out with your friends. It could mean going to see a movie with your friends. When you do that, one, the hormones the happiness hormones it releases, they are great stress relievers, right? And stress is one of the highest killers that we can find around. So your professional life doesn't really overshadow every other part of your life. That's what balance means.
Let's talk about your event, the Business Balance and Beyond Summit.
Okay.
Tell us about the idea and how you got to decide that you're going to do this event.
Okay. Now, like we said during the introduction, I am a mother of 4 children. I got my PhD 2022, and I'm a social media influencer. So you see that I am wearing so many hats at the same time. Now, I've gotten lots of DMs and messages, young women especially, asking me, Ella, how do you do this? I'm going crazy. As in, I have just 2 children. And this is all I seem to be able to do. I cannot focus on business. I don't have a business. I don't have this. How are you able to do this? Because when I got my PhD and I posted it, people were shocked. They're like, how do we see you? You appear on social media every single day. We see you create content, you do videos, you travel, and now you are telling us that you had time to do a PhD behind. It must be some sort of magic. Tell us how you did it. That led to the conceptualization of this event. I decided I'm going to bring together other successful business people, both men and women. Because balance is not just a woman's thing. We're not talking about women. It's not a women event. It's a general event. Because as a man, you need balance. If not, you will be an absentee father. You will just be a sperm donor. And, just the person that pays your children's bill. You will never really truly be a dad. You can be a father. You won't be a dad. So you have to also prioritize your relationship with your children. Be a good husband. Be a good boss. So even if you're a student, you still need work-life balance. You can't read from morning till night. You don't eat. You don't go out. You don't exercise. You don't go to church. You don't go to hang out with friends. These are all the things that make you a full human being. These are the things that make you healthy and sane. So balance is for every single person. So that's what led to this. We're bringing top business people, coaches, not just influencers. I mean, people who are doing business and they have a successful family life. It's not a matter of either or. Some people say you can just, if I'm married to my job, but you have a physical wife. What's going on there? I hear people say that. I'm married to my job, then don't marry. Don't marry a human being. If you're married to your job, then stick to your job. But that's not healthy either. Because a time will come in your life when you would look back and you'll be full of regret. One thing I fear the most is on my deathbed and I am looking back and I'm full of regrets. All the things I planned and I never got to do because I was too engrossed in work. I was too engrossed in business. I didn't travel. See, and a lot of us think, oh, you're talking this thing because you have money. I don't have money. But I prioritize quality. Quality of life. For me, the quality of life is my happiness gauge. That's what I look at. I look at how happy are my kids? How happy am I in my marriage? Not about how much money I have in my account. When I was growing up, I was born in Jos. My parents didn't really have much. My father was an artist. He does art. So that's what my father did. My mother was a small businesswoman who was also into... Then it was tailoring, not fashion. No, now they're doing fashion designing. Then it was a tailor. Those food that we sew and collect 300 naira. So it wasn't really much. So a lot of time we were made to go without food. But guess what? My father was a hands-on father. Meaning he was involved in our daily lives. The day we didn't have food to eat, we always had maybe gari. We can drink gari. But while you're drinking the gari, my father will be busy regaling us with, his exploits as a Biafran soldier. You know, he'll be gesticulating. Oh, when we got to Obunike, we did it. I can tell you the stories as in these are the core memories I have. My parents are still alive, right? But our childhoods were so beautiful. We didn't even have time to remember that we were poor. So he was always around. Sometimes he would clear the parlor and say Chinese, say Kaiba karat, karat, like let's do karat. My father would divide us into teams, and you know, he would like, come on. It was fun. It was good. We didn't have time to remember that we're not eating. Or that what we took today was pap. Every just person has pap. No matter how poor you are, you have pap. So you drink pap, sometimes without sugar. Drink pap and sleep. And pray that tomorrow is better. So I can tell you categorically that money is not what will make you happy. More money will not make you happy. In fact, it may bring you more misery. More money will not make you happy. Money can make you comfortable. Comfort and happiness are not the same thing. If it was the richest people will be the happiest people. But look at you. Check your neighbors who live in I pass my neighbor, or what do you call it? Face me, I face you, or batchers. You hear them laughing in the night. Then some people are seriously crying and depressed in duplexes.
And the sashi beds.
I'm telling you. So that's not it. We are busy chasing the wrong thing. So this event will help you sit down and take a good look. Then help teach you, because sometimes you really want to do, you just don't know how.
Exactly.
So let's hear from others who had done it. How did you do this? Please give us tips and hacks. And you know, somehow we lack good mentors. We lack good mentors. Social media has made it so that, you know, people take popular people as their mentors. Anything can get you popularity on social media. Doesn't mean you have sense. So you have people following people who are popular because an intimate tip of them went viral. Suddenly, they have 200,000 followers and they are posting things that people are nodding their heads. I'm like, why? This person has shown really, really, really bad character. This person has shown that he or she doesn't really have sense.
True.
So why are we following the person? And now we are hanging on to their every word. So that's why your life is scattered, because you're following people that you shouldn't be following. So these people are going to come and tell us how they did it. So it's about stories. We're going to be sharing real life stories. No fake zone. Nobody's going there to come and make you feel like, in fact, you'll be very comfortable because these are people who had failed at several things. They failed. They'll tell you how they failed and how they picked themselves up. So that's what led to the Business Balance and Beyond Summit.
Interesting. Let's talk about burnout. I mean, that's a real concern.
Yes, it is.
When it comes to running a business. Especially because we have a lot of solopreneurs who want to do everything. They are their own content creators. They are their own secretaries. They are their own admin person. They are their own finance person. They are the full staff. Like when there's a staff meeting, it's just them soliloquizing, so to speak. So they do not have any another person helping. Even if they have, not enough. So just end up multitasking. Burnout is a concern now. So what is it that we should expect from this event for people who... let's even start with what the signs of burnout is. Because some people do not even realize that what they are experiencing
is burnout. Now, I believe we all experience burnout at some degree. You know, for some it's extreme. For some it's just, slight. There are days you wake up, you don't want to get out of bed because you keep asking yourself, what's the point? What's the point of it all? And the economy is such that, when you think, maybe as a business person, the dollar rate has really crippled your business and you're feeling depressed. Depression is one of the signs. It is one of the signs of burnout. I'm not a psychologist, so I can't really come and be saying, but I'm telling you, I have experienced it before. There are days I wake up and I'm like, anybody's talking, I will lock myself in the room because I don't want to stand up. I don't want to get outside. I don't want to do anything. It's like there is no need. After running around in circles, I'll still end up at the same place. Now, you can't do everything by yourself. You're not Superman. You're not Superwoman. Some of you think you are. Maybe you've watched too many Spider-Man movies. Maybe. But you are not. You're human. So if you don't delegate as a business person, as a parent, because burnout does not just happen in business, it happens in real life. True. It happens as a mother. There are times you're like, oh my God, this kid. Haven't you ever felt like returning your kids, Chama? Be honest.
Who sent us?
Okay, I had a final baby. I call her the final born because I had a last born, right? I had a last born. I had him in 2014, and I'm like, I'm done. We agreed to have 4 children, and I'm like, okay, 4. We agreed to have 3. Sorry, I said we're done. We agreed we're done. 7 years later, I woke up one morning and had baby fever. I wanted to have another baby. My husband was like, that's crazy. You can't do that. And the guy did not even agree. But later on, we agreed. And after I had that baby, and you now start, it's like you're having baby for the first time because the time gap was too much. And oh my God, I started asking, is there any way we can return the child? Can't we return the baby? Am I not too old? I'm almost 40 years old. Why am I doing this? Is there no way to return this child? Maybe give it to somebody. But there's nobody. You have born it, so you have to carry it. So
with all other responsibilities that you were already handling before that.
Imagine. So I had a little. Anyway, I won't go as far as saying I had a burnout, but I can tell you for free, I have friends who have had burnout because you are too loaded and stressed. You're not delegating. You're not getting the help you need. Only you, nanny. So you are awake in the night, taking care of the baby, breastfeeding, singing, because some of them after breastfeeding you have to stand up and sing for like 2 hours. After singing and doing all that, in the morning you still have to be awake to prepare the other kids to go to school. Why won't you burn out? If you don't burn out, something is wrong.
Let's talk about delegating. Sometimes you really want to delegate, but you do not have the capable hands to give it to. They just don't. You don't even know where. Okay, let's the home front. That's real. You can find a way to let them figure it out. But for work, sometimes you have this idea of what you want, and no one is competent enough to deliver. And so you just find yourself doing it all.
Okay.
How do you handle something like that? How do you?
Okay.
Are we going to expect people who are able to break down, who are able to show how to break down tasks to that extent?
Exactly. That's part of what we're going to do. Sometimes to get people to do something, you have to show them what it's costing them not to. I would take myself as an example as usual. When I started my influencing, I did everything myself, right? I would answer messages by myself. I would, create the content by myself. I would post by myself. So I was running ragged. Not just running ragged. I was losing a lot of money. How? Sometimes if I open my WhatsApp, I can get like 700 messages. 700 over like 1 week. 700. There's no way I can get to 700 messages. So sometimes it takes me time to get through them. And when I do, I'll realize I have missed a lot of money messages. Oh, hello ma'am, we want you to do this for us. We want you to tell us the bill. I have missed like 20 messages like that. Sometimes they call me. In fact, I never knew. When people say, oh, I have phone phobia or something, when the phone rings, I used to think they were forming. I didn't know it was real until it happened to me. Now, as I'm talking to Chama, sometimes my phone will be ringing. I'll be looking at the phone. I'm so tired. I'm afraid to pick up because I don't want to talk. I don't want to be nice to anybody. I don't want to say, hello, good afternoon. My name is Ella. How can I help you? I don't want to help you because I've not helped myself. So, in 2023, the best thing I did for myself was to hire my first employee. I hired an executive assistant. What was her job? Very simple. Her job was to go through my DMs. Any message that drops, you're supposed to attend to it, give them the rate card, charge them, book them. My own job is to execute. Tell me, ma, you're supposed to make a post for so and so brand by 7 p.m. on Thursday and make sure I do it. My life became, it was like a breath of fresh air. The pressure lifted. I was paying her, but guess what? It was well worth the money 10 times over. I wasn't missing messages. She could attend, and she's professional, unlike myself. When people get to you because they know you, they may decide, Ella, now we do this. My PA wasn't taking any of that. She will tell you this is what you're supposed to pay. You will pay it. She will forward it to me. We do the job and we go on. Guess what? in the first quarter of 20, I made more money than 2022. Simply because I add a little structure, just a little, not in the first. For you to do well, you have to delegate other sensitive parts. Now, we're preparing for this event. I'll stand here, talk to you, because I tell some key things to other people to do. If not, I'll be running helter-skelter. Someone is ensuring that my children are well dressed on that day. And that person is ensuring that our guest speakers coming in from Lagos and Abuja are well taken care of. Handling the hotel, handling the logistics, that's delegating. So that at the end of the day, everybody does their job. It's up to you to train them. Let them know what to do. Don't be shy to spend money, especially when your business can afford it. Some of them, once you tell them, oh, this is what it will cost, they'll be like, I beg you, it's too much. But think of what you're losing. For me, the most important thing I gained was sanity. As I'm sitting here, someone is in my DMs. She's answering questions. She's talking to people. So I don't need to do that. In fact, if I'm with her, she's with my phone. My head is cool and calm. I can think. So if you're the visionary, if you're the brain behind your brand, what time would you have to ideate, to get ideas? You can't get any ideas because you're too invested in doing
the everyday routine work.
Silly things you shouldn't be doing, rather. Things that you can delegate. Some people are control freaks. They want to be involved in every aspect, and you cannot grow if you continue doing that.
Okay, let's open the phone lines now, shall we? Yes, it's still talking figures on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Veronica's daughter is in the studio. She's the convener of Business Balance and Beyond Summit coming up this Saturday, and she's been talking to us about the possibility of balancing business and life, and she's shared so much. And of course, she's a storyteller, so respect that we've been telling stories for the past 46 minutes or so. And yes, it's time for me to hear from you. Do you think it's possible? You've heard her, she's explained it all. What do you think? 0817 923 0002. You can also call 0817 923 0003. Yes, the WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. Don't forget, we're live on Facebook at Nigeria Info PH. We're also live on YouTube at Nigeria Info PH as well. You can also drop your messages on X at Nigeria Info PH as well. The question, really simple. What is it that you think has made it possible for us to be able to balance business and life? Is it possible to balance business and life? What have you been doing? Okay, and then if you have questions about the event, Business Balance and Beyond is coming up this Saturday. If you have questions, any question at all, yes, you can also call me up 0817 923 0007. If you have questions for the guest, Veronica's daughter is here and she's been saying a lot. Now let's stay with the event again. Can you mention some of the people we're expecting at this event?
Oh yes. Now for the Business Balance and Beyond event, this is very fun, and it's going to be an annual thing, and this one is star-studded, right? Number one, we have Zuira. Zuira is the CEO of Amal Botanicals. Amal Botanicals is Nigeria's first indigenous skincare brand for children. So almost every mother I know knows Amal Botanicals. She's from Lagos. Now we have financial Jennifer Awirigwe. You can check her out on Instagram, check her out on Facebook. Now she's what we call our financial cheerleader. She's very passionate about women making money.
We're going to talk more about others. Let's take this call here in case you have questions to answer them. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Ifigo.
Hello, if you want to talk, Ifigo.
I know Ifigo.
I want to ask to help us explain how encourage workers and vendors do or business owners do to their workers stay longer. Like what activities, what can you do? There are some workers that work like 3 months, 6 months. Especially I want like a year, maybe 2 years, but during them for a long time, they be able to understand the work. They just don't have one. So how come pay? Which angle is negotiable? What can we really do as a vendor to make people really take business?
That's a very important question. Thank you for that, Ify. She won't answer that, but let's take another call. Hello, Adelaide now. Adelaide, you're not calling from. You're welcome. It's okay.
My voice today.
Go ahead.
You see, what's happening now? Nobody is shouting. If it's the now, you see the of soldiers. Everything will come.
Listening on this channel, thanks so much for Nigeria. We've been talking about business and life.
I'm a regular listener.
Yeah, because what your contribution doesn't seem to align with what we've been talking about. Look at it here. Go ahead.
The husband.
No, I'm not talking. Wait for third fast by 3 conversations. Right now, I'm talking business and life. You probably call it. They'll let our head down. I'm not talking all of that now. But thank you for calling on the same day. Okay, hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Nelo.
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead. What question or you have comments?
I just want to say that I'm excited for that, and I actually cannot wait to attend this event because there's one aspect of my life that actually cannot wait for other women have to say or other people have to say when it comes to finances. Because when I spend money, I need to find a very good balance between money and actually investing and keeping this money in my account.
so much. It's a very, very important part of life. You can't be talking about business balance and beyond without talking about personal finances.
Let's go to the first question. The last question.
Okay, if you glow, think that if you glow, I'm talking about how to make your staff stay.
Because if you can make them stay longer, you can actually help you balance it.
In all honesty, your staff staying is not really my area of strength. I wouldn't lie, but a lot of times, working conditions. One, vendors or business people want to get the most of everything. So sometimes they're overworked. They get past their job restrictions. So one person is a salesman, social media manager, this and that, and PA. There's some people who don't send them to the market. So a lot of times, it's one, the working conditions. Two, it's the pay. Three, it's the advancement. If I am a young person now and I want to get a job and I get into a job and I don't see myself progressing or making headway in this present position, I'll be on the lookout for something else. Everybody has to look out for number one. Who's number one? Me, you. So create a sense of advancement in your staff and they have a better chance of staying. Then depending on whether they are just maybe ad hoc staff or they are people who you've trained, sometimes you can do the legal part. Like, okay, if I'm going to train you because I'm going to spend money and resources to train you. If I'm going to train you, let's sign on the ticket that you're going to work for me for the next 1 year.
How many Nigerians have this?
No, so will do. Especially when you know that this person is really, really vested in this type of business.
Okay.
Let's say you're a baker and you have an under them who wants to learn and work. You say, okay, because I'm going to do this, let's have an agreement. If you do, a lot of them do stay. The fact is, you as a business owner, you don't even know what you're supposed to do. So please, when you come on that day, ensure you come to the event. We're having business owners come and tell us tips and tricks, and this is one of them.
Very important.
A lot of businesses are having issues with staff. Yeah.
And that's really a problem. Have golden room Drew. Call it, just pick up the call. Hey, yes, you can call back 0817-923-0009. The number that you can call. And question me is the possibility of balancing business and life. And then we have questions regarding the events. Veronica is advising the studio. She's a convener of that event on Saturday. Where is it happening again?
It's happening at the Glass House Event Center on Romola Road, Romola Link Room. When you get to Stadium, after First Bank, that wide road that leads to Romola, that's Romola Link Road. The Bereton School, yes.
Okay.
So that's
You've advertised two brands.
I'm talking about I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyways, it's good.
One big
Okay, so you're coming from a bar road as well, GRA Junction, right? Or is it
if you're coming from a bar road, because not and enter beside the flyover road, right? If you're coming from Stadium Road, you're coming from Air Force. Immediately after the bank, there's a big road by your right. Let's enter that where you have the church. There's a big church there. They always use that whole Glass House Event Center.
You use your Google Map.
It's there. It's Glass House Street, Romola Link Road.
So you need there.
No, it's a free event. That's the most special thing because it's very fast and I don't want to exclude anybody. It's free. Absolutely free. All you have to do, very, very simple. Number one, register. The link for registration is on my bio. If you go to Instagram, check for Veronica's Butter and check for Ezeadilieje on Facebook. The link is there. Click it and register. Now, some of you don't use Android phones or iPhones, whatever. You use your regular small phones. That's very get to the event venue. You can register on the spot. If you're not able to you can register and stream it online. Just go to YouTube, Veronica's Butter, and you can join us online. It's free of charge. But you have to come early. Red carpet starts by 8 a.m. Then the event starts by 9 a.m. sharp. We are going to be very, very studious. No African time because we have a lot. And I promise you, this is one event you can afford to miss. Now, if you're a nursing mother, because I make provisions for virtually everything. As a mother, it's part of the balance we're talking about. As a mother, I find it, hard or I don't think I'm excluded because I'm not in a baby and you don't have help. So we're setting up a case. Even if your baby is 1 month old, we have cots, we have caregivers. So babies, bring yourself. If you're pregnant, please come. I have something special for you because these are the things you need to hear and learn so you can have proper balance. So get there and we'll have a great time.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not just for women, it's also
it's for literally everybody. My husband will be there. We have a lot of men coming there. We have men as panelists, speakers, and it's going to be massive. It's the biggest event in Port Harcourt.
You have can you roll down the rest of the people on the
yes, we have
in the next 2 minutes?
We have Aya Akone. She's coming all the way from Abuja. She's a sponsored ads expert. So she's going to help businesses learn how to create ads no matter your budget. Then we have Senora Voice. She's a personal branding all the way from Lagos. She's coming to talk to online vendors and career people how to build a personal brand. Then we have our panelists like Wendy of Women in Port Harcourt. We have Emeka Nobis. We have Imelda Olawi of Think Means, real estate guru. And see, quality people are coming to tell you real life stories and give you tips and hacks on how to make life easier. Come and learn from other people's mistakes. You don't need to make your own.
That's important there. Now, your final thoughts when it comes to before your final thoughts, see now what we have on WhatsApp. Before they accuse me of not reading the message, I have here from Bright Nice sent this thing from Woji. He says, Trauma, by the grace of God, a business owner, and one thing I don't joke with is my sleep. I ensure I always have 8 hours sleep. But currently, I'm listening to you from my office. I don't joke with my sleep. Imagine saying that you're working on public holiday. You're working on public holiday. And I pray to God to help me with leave this life because I'm going to find money right now. Thank you for your message. I like that I read at this time. I also have another one. Okay, Daniel says I should be I mean, I'm listening to the storyteller. He had a lot to say, and I didn't even know what I like that I like to talk.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, your final thoughts when it comes to all of what we just talked about for business owners and your events.
Okay, for the event, it's free. People say Nigerians don't like things, they don't prioritize it because you didn't get to pay a dime. Guys, if there's anything you prioritize this weekend, be at the BQ, the Business Balance and Beyond.
And I think it's free because people have paid for it.
Of course, people
brands are
sponsoring it, but I can assure you, you will not regret it. If you at the event, please, if you found value, just come to me and say, Ella, can I have your account number? I need to pay for this. Believe you me, it's part of balance. Come network, not talking business, you're going to be making friends, you're going to be meeting new people. You are going to be widening your social, your social network. Yes.
Thank you so much. And that's Veronica's daughter, Dr. Ella Ezeadilieje, Dr. Ella Ezeadilieje. All right, thank you so much for making it to the studio. And see you on Saturday.
I cannot wait to have you all. I cannot wait to give you a hug. If you want to see me on Saturday, just say, hey, I listened to you on Nigerian Info. Where's my hug? And that's Talking Figures today. Thank you for being a part of it. Yes, and the news is up next. Rivers today, precisely. And then Canada will be here with Hard Facts. Stay tuned.